to get around defamation, I mean, my entertainment lawyer, for instance, will caution me about the language in the writing. So if you have a story to break, you say, I have 3 sources who have confirmed to me that Angelina Jolie is pregnant. And I've also heard that she's giving birth in Africa. In these cases, well, I'm always right. but it also, in these cases, it's simply a matter of, oh, if it wasn't true, then that person's representative would call me and say, we want a retraction, and if a retraction is not forthcoming, then action will be taken. And at which point, if I was wrong, then I would print the retraction, and if I'm not wrong, then it stands. I've had conversations like that before where, you know, a celebrity's publicist has yelled at me over the phone, and I've been like, I'm not changing that, it's true, and then they hang up, and it's another day. So it's the language. If something is really, really smutty, then what people in my industry have taken to doing and are items called blind items. So a blind item is, let's say, for example, John, who is an actor, is using drugs and bought them from a sketchy person downtown and had an overdose and needed to be hospitalized. Now that is more than a simple pregnancy story or whatever. So because I want to protect my source for whatever reason, because the source is the only person who would have known and I don't want that person to get in trouble, I would write a blind item and I would say, an actor who has starred in several blockbusters bought bad cocaine on a street corner last week and was hospitalized. And I would couch that item without naming them, but with enough identifying details so that people would start to guess who it is, and then I would get the story out there. And then in a month's time, if that story is broadcast because I don't know, the Smoking Gun or TMZ unearths the hospital report or the police report, then I would be like, ha, see, told you. So that's what a blind item is. So that's what I would use, and I have done, to protect myself, but still get the story out there. It's not just celebrities. People are being sued for defamation on Facebook, right? So I don't use Facebook, but there was that case where something happened and something was posted about somebody on Facebook, and then it was circulated to all the other Facebookers, and then it caused, I don't know, some drama, and then they were suing their Facebook friend for defamation. And so a lot of, and how that relates to media too, is comments that are left on media articles. So you'll notice if you go to the Globe and Mail, you can comment on an article on the Globe and Mail, and those comments are unmoderated. So any crazy person, and I find that the people who comment on articles online are crazy people. I do not offer commentary on my website, by the way.
Obviously not.
No, I feel it encourages like
crazy people.
Crazy people, but I mean, if you've ever gone to any comment section on any website, there's some deranged people there, and so, but our own major media outlets, you'd be surprised, have not yet figured out a moderation system to protect themselves on defamation. The democratization of celebrity is what I call it. You know, in the past, you kind of had to be a little bit special to be a celebrity. Elizabeth Taylor was special. Now, anybody can be a celebrity. You just have to be shameless enough. And so, I guess cops would have started it, but I don't think that anybody who was on Cops was motivated to become famous. Whereas the difference now is that when someone gets arrested on one of these shows, in the back of their mind, one of the side benefits of being arrested is, I'm going to make the cover of Us Weekly. So I think it speaks to motivation. I think the difference is in motivation, and there's a culture of people, regular people, who wake up, as the document, the first page of your document, you know, the 23-page document said, is that people now want to be famous as a career goal. I think that wanting to be accurate and known for being accurate is certainly the ideal, and believe it or not, I aspire to that too. I like speed and I like accuracy. I think though that for many outlets and many of my colleagues, and even the Daily Mail, for example, which is a big institution in the UK, it's more important for them to get it out first, whether or not it's wrong, because they'll get the immediate traffic. So this is what we're dealing with is, you know, how many copies you can sell or how much traffic you can drive to your site. And when you can drive that kind of traffic to your site, then you can talk about site statistics, and then you can take those to your advertisers or whatever. And that's how really TMZ grew. So TMZ made themselves by basically, I don't know what they do, but I think they listen into the police responders because they know something 5 minutes after it happens. So when, for example, if you were to hear about a major figure dying, everybody goes to TMZ first. They don't go to CNN, they don't go to, like, I don't know, the Globe and Mail, they go to TMZ because, and so TMZ has been able to build a reputation of being the first, and that way everybody just crashes to their site. So I don't operate, for my blog, for those, I know many of you are not familiar, but my blog is not the way that TMZ is built. TMZ's articles are probably 100-word max articles at a time, and they're uploaded very quickly, and it's this person got arrested and that person got pulled over. The average length of my posts on my site are about 500 words. I produce 4,000 words a day, so there is some, as you say, prioritization on accuracy and language. So I'm not necessarily super, I wouldn't compromise accuracy over speed, as idealistic or as hard to believe as that may be coming from a gossip blogger. But there are sites, my competitors and colleagues, that need to get it out that quickly, and they have benefited from it, and that's why they keep doing it. In terms of the legality of it, because it's my opinion and I'm editorializing it, it falls under, in my lawyer in the States says that it falls under, what is it, like fair use?
Fair comment.
Fair comment. And so I'm able to, you know, go off on somebody under the protection of fair comment. So, and I like that approach, and because Lainey Gossip as a brand for the last 6 years has established that it's an editorial and an analytical tone tied to my opinion, we can say all these things that we do in the pictures that we publish are under fair comment. In Canada, for some strange reason, and maybe it's our proximity to the States, we don't have an established star system. So you can go to the UK, and you can go to Australia, and you can go to Asia, and they have their own celebrities that aren't crossover celebrities, so nobody knows them. They're not, you know, they're not going to make the cover of Us Weekly or People. But you can go to England, and people will be chasing after some person that you've never heard of, but because they have an established star system, they have their own star industry. And in Canada, we don't have a star system. Our stars are the same, the people that we idolize are the same people that are the established star maker, the stars in the States. For instance, if I were to ask you, you know, if I were to bring up the show Degrassi, most of you would snicker or roll your eyes or whatever, but in fact, Degrassi is one of the most successful Canadian entertainment exports that our country has ever seen. It's shown in something like 50 to 60 countries. It makes a ton of money, and there's actually an established Degrassi fan base in the US. The cast of Degrassi went to Times Square, I think it was 2 years ago, and got mobbed but people in Canada couldn't name any of the stars of Degrassi. I don't know if it's part of our culture that we as Canadians don't want to be seen as celebrity mongers and all that, but we just don't have this nurtured star system. And shows like ours, like E-Talk, try and build a celebrity star system, a star system in Canada, a viable one, because we want to promote local talent. Oftentimes people have to leave here and then get famous somewhere else before we'll recognize them and honor them. I keep going back to that idea of celebrity as an ecosystem, and how celebrity has evolved these days is that every component is vital for it to exist. Celebrities can't exist without bloggers and entertainment shows anymore, and I obviously couldn't exist if Brad and Angelina weren't having babies all the time, and you know, like, we all sort of fit into this cog. It's a necessary, every component in the ecosystem is totally vital, and would fall apart if you removed one piece of it away. If you removed one piece of it from that sort of environment. Having said that, please visit my website, laineygossip.com.